I don't know if you know that movie with Clint Eastwood, a spaghetti western, where he says there are two kinds of people in this world. Those with loaded guns and those who dig. And then he points to the ugly and says, you dig. So why is he talking about that movie? Well, I think it's because the photo community, as far as I can tell, is a little bit divided as well. There are two kinds of photographers. Those who only shoot in ambient light and those who are absolutely obsessed with controlling the light in their pictures. And I'm not to take a stand here. I come from the first group, and I am now sort of trying to step into the second group and see what I can learn about, you can say, artificial light. And thank you for all the comments. I think I have received a lot of comments to this channel about my ambition to only use ambient light. But now I've been pointed in the direction of something called the Storbists, which is I think it's a community or a blog, where there is a special blog called Lighting 101, where you can study that and you can learn a lot about flash photography. And I must say, after reading there a bit, I have come to the conclusion that if you want to be a complete photographer, and especially if you want to take portraits and still life and so on, which I actually have an ambition to learn how to do, you simply need to study. New to photography I am, and I'm stepping into new territory. So I wanted to share with you these two things that I have here, because as you know, I display all the mistakes that I make, and I try to learn from them, and I share with you whatever learnings I have. And I think I've done one thing right here. If you study the strobist, and I think also if you study some of the photographers on Lydia, they have some very, very good training videos. Lydia, I think they are some of the best actually. If you study some of those, they will tell you the first requirement before you even start, you need to move your flash away from the hot shoe on your camera. You need to move it so that you have full flexibility to put the flash wherever you want it. And then they talk a lot about umbrellas and, spreading the light out and not having so harsh and direct a light source and all these things. But number one is moving it from the hot shoe to somewhere else. The second thing I think I have learned is that the communication from your camera to your flash does not need to be automated in any way. It can simply be a slave mode, so that you simply by using the pop-up flash here, when that fires, this one will be able to register when your first flash fires, and then will simply follow suit, and it happens so fast that your picture will be exposed. So I think that's actually the cheapest solution you can get. So I think actually Tony Northrup is one of those who demonstrates in his videos how to do that. I went for a little bit more advanced solution where I have a trigger and I have a built-in receiver in this Yongnuo Speedlite YN685. And the reason for that is that I think one of the things that I have enough of in my life is, batteries, cables, chargers, whatever. And the thought of having a receiver sitting at the bottom of my flash simply didn't appeal to me. So I wanted to have a flash that could receive at the same time. So I only had to buy a trigger and then a flash. And then I came across this thing here, the Yongnuo YN685. And I think this is one of the products that many people love to hate. Not this model in particular, but Yongnuo as such. I don't know why that is. I can just see in many of the comments people have problems with this product. They think it's not high quality, the battery door is falling apart and all of that. I must say I have never had any problems with Yongnuo. I will say that you can tell it's not a Nikon or Canon product. I think actually Yongnuo is a Canon wannabe. One problem you will have is that if you slide the center too far forward, and you can actually do that, the contacts here will not hit the hot shoe properly. So you actually need to pull it back a little bit. That's one thing I've learned, but I think that's actually the only problem I've had with this setup. So I don't know why people are so mad at this this combination. I think it works pretty fine. I will say though, I think I have bought more than I needed, because if you study some of those that appear to know what they talk about when we're talking flash, they say that they hardly ever use any of the advanced mode on the flashes. They simply manually regulate how much light the flash gives, and that's it. So they don't really use TTL or high-speed sync or all of these advanced things. And this setup can actually, it can do both. It supports, I think I bought all the bells and whistles that you can dream of in this combination here, and I will never need it. I'm pretty sure I will do only with manual mode. But now I have it, I guess it's fine. But just if you want to save some money, I think I would, and you have the same decision criteria, of course, personal preferences and all that, I would go for a model here that had not so much, that was not so advanced, basically just one that maybe could receive or maybe just be a slave triggered by the flash on your camera. But still, I think the advantage of this is that they, I think it's radio communication, so they don't need to sit so that they actually can see each other. So, I mean, I have a solution that I think will serve me well. Some of the problems I've seen people having with this setup is, I think I've seen two problems they have. One is that the test button, like this, it doesn't work. I can only say that it does work. I don't know really what to say more about that, but I will. If you take it off the hot shoe and then press test again, you know, it seems like it works both on and off the hot shoe, and also if I try to use it to take a picture, it works. The second problem I've seen people having is that, so this one eats batteries like, you know, my cat eats cat food, and that's a very small reference, but I can assure you he eats cat food very, very fast. And also I think the recharge time is quite significant. It takes a while for it to be ready when you fired a shot. So that's why I have ordered the Godox SB960, and I will make a video on that one and see how that works together with this setup. But I think that's a common known problem, and I think the problem is also that no matter how many batteries and rechargeable batteries you put into this, it will still have the same issue that the recharge time is quite long, and you will need to carry quite a lot of batteries. So I hope that this Godox thing will be my savior, but I will get back to you in a new video on that. The last thing I've seen people having problem with is that the synchronization from here to here does not work. And that, let's say that we go into mode, let's see over here that I set, oops, that was the wrong, let me just find the right group here. Group A is which I'm on. If I set the, I just change that a bit downwards to, let's say, 1/28, which is some of the lowest. Now you can see over here it says 1/164, and then you're wondering, how do I get the synchronization from here to over here? Well, it's very simple. If you just press down the shutter halfway, you will see that the information jumps from here to here. And the same goes for the zoom range on your flash. As soon as you press down the shutter halfway here, it updates the data. So I think communication works very well. This one works very well. I've had it for, I think, 3/4 of a year. No problems whatsoever. I know it's not, you know, Canon quality. It works. So I'm pretty happy with it. As I said, if you're new to photography like me, you're thinking about buying flashes, I would maybe go for a model that is not so advanced, a model that maybe does not have all these bells and whistles in terms of it through the lens focus and all of that. But that, of course, that's up to you. I think now I have it, I can use it if I need be, but I still think that studying the Storbists blog and also lydia.com, all their training material, I think I can safely say I will not need that. Okay, thank you for watching. I will be back with a small video on the Godox SB960, how that works together with this little setup. And I have also bought a umbrella and some more gear in that regard, some gels and so on and so forth. So I will be back once I have a little bit of news and make some more some more mistakes that I can share with you. But for now, thank you for watching. As always, happy shooting. Take care. Bye bye.